Hi, my name's David, and I'm going to talk to you today about who lives and who dies in Avengers Endgame, the upcoming Avengers movie coming out next month. Anyway, I've seen lots of speculation and theories and whatnot, and where some of them I agree with, others I do not. So let's start with who's going to live and who's going to die in Avengers Endgame. Now, these are not spoilers, but they might spoil some movies that maybe you haven't seen yet. So I want to warn you now, if you don't want to know anything or don't even want to know speculation, then turn this video off now and watch something else. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Okay. You've had enough time to click off if that was what you needed to do. Anyway, let's talk about who lives first, okay? Some of these are no-brainers, okay? You've got several characters that have not completed their three-picture story arcs. Would be, including the brand new Captain Marvel. It would be ridiculous to bring her in and then kill her less than a month later or a month later in Avengers Endgame. So that's ridiculous. So forget Captain Marvel. We already know that the next Spider-Man movie is coming out. It's already, we've already seen the trailers. We know from watching the trailers that Nick Fury's in it. So Nick Fury is going to live. He will come back from being dusted. So we know that. We know there is a Doctor Strange movie, number 2, in the mix. So we can pretty much assume Doctor Strange is going to survive and come back from the dead or being dusted, if indeed he is dusted. But that's some speculation. Remember, he knows the results. He saw the timeline in which the Avengers win, and he said it was the only way. So what does that tell you? That tells you something, that he knows something that maybe the rest of us don't. Okay, which clearly he does. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get other things. Clearly he knows something, so we're going to leave that alone for now, but he knows something. So maybe he's dusted, maybe he's not. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's coming back because he still has Doctor Strange 2 and a likely Doctor Strange 3. While we're on that subject, where it hasn't been mentioned, there's going to be a Black Panther 2 and a Black Panther 3. Therefore, Black Panther has to come back. Okay? Now, could they use somebody else as the Black Panther, whether it's Shuri or someone else? Yes, they could, but again, that's not likely. They're going to stick with what works. I mean, let's face it, the movie won an Oscar. If they change it all, it might be maybe by number 2 or number 3, but again, I don't see that. So we can figure Black Panther is going to survive the snap. We know there is a Black Widow movie, a solo film in the mix. So again, I would presume that Black Widow is going to survive Endgame, unless her movie's a prequel, which they could do, but I don't know. Either way, why, if they're going to kill her, why do a prequel? Why wouldn't everybody go, why do I watch this movie? She's already dead. So, yeah, no, they're not going to kill Black Widow. She's going to survive. Hawkeye, I don't know. There's no mention of a movie, but let's talk with who's surviving, or not who's surviving. Let's talk about the likelihoods of those people. I would say are definitely 100% going to survive. Now, the ones that are really in question, and this would include Black Widow, but I've already mentioned her, are the original Avengers. Most, if not all, have ended their contracts. Chris Evans, for one, has mentioned he's done with playing Captain America. So let's go over these particular people and see where this takes us. Let's start with the obvious, as we already mentioned, Captain America. Captain America is going to die. There has to be a heroic death. All right, these movies don't happen without something going on. He's going to have to die a hero. And that's exactly what Captain America does. Now, could he go back, since time travel has been mentioned? Could he go back and maybe relive his life the way it should have been? Possibly, but again, I don't see that happening. What I see happening is Captain America sacrificing himself, much like he did before he even became Captain America when he threw himself on the grenade. That may have been a bit of foreshadowing, because Captain America has, and when he flew his plane into the ocean, Captain America has always been willing to lay down his life for his country or for his fellow. So yes, Captain America will definitely die, in my opinion. He's going to be gone. It'll probably be a very heroic death. It'll probably be not a dry eye in the theater, but Captain America is going to die. Okay, let's go on to somebody else now. Let's talk Thor. Again, the Thor movies did well, but they didn't do anywhere near as well as the Iron Man, Captain America movies and whatnot. However, Thor in his last movie and even in the Avengers has proven to be quite entertaining. Now, is there going to be a fourth Thor movie? Not likely. So what are they going to do with Thor? Are they going to kill him? No, I don't think so. In fact, I think we already saw them tell us exactly what's going to happen. If you watch some of the previous movies, again, I'm spoiling that, the now dead Odin speaks to Thor about Asgard after it's been destroyed. He said Asgard could be anywhere. It could be here. And that was someplace on Earth. What I think is going to happen is, and I'm going to spoil something for you, I don't think Loki's dead. Or if he is dead, I think now they're going to bring him back. Let's face it, this is not the first time Loki has cheated death. I think Loki and Thor are going to leave the Avengers. Not that Loki was ever part of the Avengers, but I think Thor, with Loki's help, will go rebuild Asgard with the remaining Asgardians someplace else on Earth, possibly the location Odin shows them. I think that was foreshadowing. I think there was a bit of a spoiler on their part, but that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Thor will survive, but will leave the Avengers because he needs, with Loki's help, to rebuild and rule the new Asgard. He could always say, if you need me, I'll be here. But with Captain Marvel on the scene, they have plenty of manpower or woman power or whatever. They have plenty of sock to make up for the loss of a big gun like Thor. So Thor and Loki, again, spoiling something, Loki will survive or come back from the dead, whichever way you want to look at it. And he and Thor will leave and rebuild Asgard. Okay, let's move on. Who else is left? Captain America. We've talked about Thor. Okay, let's go to the Hulk. Now, there's a tricky one. Now, the Hulk standalone movie didn't do too well. Out of all the Marvel movies, that's the one that tanked. They try and forget it. They try and push it aside. They try and ignore it. But Hulk, something needs to happen with Hulk. If they're doing the Professor Hulk storyline, which has been strongly suggested and hinted at, it may be what they need to do to move towards a cure for Dr. Banner. So, if anything, I don't see, possibly I could see the Hulk dying, but not Banner. I think what's going to happen is they're going to do something, and Banner, once they, hey, we've got Captain Marvel, got this, we've got a cure. If they manage to merge Dr. Banner and the Hulk together, creating Professor Hulk, they might be able to take it a step further and rid Dr. Banner of the Hulk entirely, which has been his goal for quite some time. So again, I think that's what they're going to need to do. They're going to need to cure Dr. Banner, which again will leave the Avengers a little bit short on power, but remember, they've got quite a few people. Okay? So, by the way, I don't think Vision's dead. And I don't think Scarlet Witch is dead, even though she has not had a solo movie. I believe both Vision and Scarlet Witch will be back, and they will be part of this new Avenger team that's going to have to assemble that will probably include Captain Marvel. Okay, let's talk to the big gun, the one who started it all, Iron Man, Tony Stark. Is he going to die? Now, would that be a big one? That would be a really huge death to see Tony Stark die, and it would be really significant, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Tony Stark is going to retire. They've hinted at this. They talked about, a baby Iron Man. Like Captain America, which I'll go back to that. There are people that can take over in the comics. Bucky Barnes has assumed the Captain America role, as has the Falcon. Both already exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Both could take over as Captain America, so they would not necessarily lose Captain America from the Avengers. They would just lose Steve Rogers' version of Captain America. Now, on that note, back to Iron Man. we have Rhodey as War Machine. He could take over as Iron Man. I don't think Iron Man, Tony Stark is going to die. What I think is going to happen is he's going to retire. He's going to settle down with Pepper, their baby, if they're having a baby, which has been strongly hinted at. In fact, Gwyneth Paltrow pretty much came out and said it. So I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to realize he can't be flying around risking his life when he's got a family. So I think he's going to retire. And one of the reasons I think he's going to retire and stay alive is, remember, Shield pretty much is dysfunctional now. They don't really exist. What Nick Fury was doing, I don't know, but I don't think it had much to do with Shield. And I don't think, even if Shield exists, I don't think it exists like it did. And if you remember the events of Captain America Civil Wars, Shield would not necessarily support the Avengers or the Avengers Initiative anymore because of that fragmentation of things after the events of Civil War. So what I think is going to happen is Tony Stark is going to utilize his billions to finance the Avengers. Remember, he built the Avengers mansion. He's pretty much helped them out with other things. It's his money. So I think Tony Stark will stay alive. I don't think he's going to appear in any more movies, or if he does, it'll be a cameo. I think he might be mentioned, Stark Industries, or Tony called and or got this new weapon or something So I think Tony Stark will finance the Avengers. They will no longer be part of Shield. They might work with Shield if Shield indeed still exists. Okay, so there's who lives and who dies. Of the main Avengers, I think only Captain America is going to die. The Hulk himself may die, possibly not Bruce Banner, though. I think they may find a way to separate the two, and the Hulk may die a heroic death, maybe at the hands of Thanos. Who knows? I realize you're probably looking for more deaths. Hawkeye is a possibility, but I don't know. If we're looking for more deaths, then it might be some other characters that we've seen in the movies. I would say Happy could be one, but he's just going to appear in the next Spider-Man movie, so I don't see that happening. Okay, maybe some of the characters from some of the other movies. The character played by Danae, I forget her name, she also plays Michonne in Walking Dead. Perhaps she could die. That would be a heroic death and very that people have a strong attachment to, although then that would keep her out of any future Black Panther movies. Again, I realize that there probably should be more than one death, but maybe only one big death, maybe some other deaths that are significant but not as big. I think Chris Evans, Captain America, Steve Rogers will be the big one. It might be saved towards the end, but I think as far as big deaths go, that's going to be the other one. I don't think anybody else is going to die big out of the Avengers. I did say why. I believe Vision will be back. If you remember, Shuri was doing something trying to separate him from the stone itself so he would survive the removal of the stone. She may have gone far enough to be able to bring him back. We don't know if they're going to get another stone from a different timeline or something else. That's a video I could do on another note, because I don't believe time travel is really what they're doing. I think in essence, they might be traveling in time, but it's not going to be the way everybody thinks. Even the Russo brothers said that the trailers are meant to trick you. So again, this is who I think. Obviously all the heroes and villains that are in the upcoming movies, including Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, will survive. So we will see Doctor Strange. I don't believe Doctor Strange actually got dusted. Doctor Strange has the ability to travel between dimensions, so I think he may have did that as part of a ruse. Remember, he saw over 14 million versions of a fight with Thanos, and only one they won, and he knew what was going to happen. Now, did he know he was going to get dusted? Perhaps. Maybe he knew he was going to get dusted, but knew he would come back again because he knows the outcome. Because remember, he told Tony it's the only way. Okay, so this is the way I see all this going. Thor and Loki will rebuild Asgard. Dr. Banner will rid himself of the Hulk, so the Hulk himself may die, but not Dr. Banner. I see Captain America sacrificing his life. That's this kind of thing Captain America does. I don't see Tony Stark dying. He may be injured. He may get injured in a way that he can't be Iron Man anymore, which will allow Rhodey to take over. I think he'll live happily ever after with Pepper, and he will continue to finance the Avengers. So that's my take. I welcome your comments. You can always message me if you have a suggestion that you would like to make on a video or whatever. Or you can visit on Parent Nook forums. That's or parentnook.com, and from there you can find the forum site. It's a parenting site I belong to as well. Actually, I run it, but I know it's a little different from this video. But you'll see parenting videos on this channel as well. Anyway, that's my opinion. I welcome your insight and your input, and I will certainly add any comment if you have a question or something about why I think a certain way, or what if this happens, or what if that happens. To sum it up, Black Widow lives, Hawkeye maybe lives, Captain America dies, Iron Man / Tony Stark survives, the Hulk possibly dies, Thor and Loki rebuild Asgard. All the the Guardians are going to survive, or at least most of them, if not all of them. I don't believe Gamora is totally gone. They still have another movie to do, so I see all of the Guardians surviving. They could maybe kill one, but I don't see that happening either. They've already killed Groot once. I don't think that, and the movies are doing too well. Maybe in a third Guardians movie they might see one of them perish, but I don't think it'll be in Endgame. So again, if they're, hey, what about such and such hero? Go ahead, and I can always make another video. Okay, you have a good day, and we'll see.